Well, hello there, Cryptowisers. It's your old friend Milton here with another video. Welcome to Cryptowise. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about Binance because I haven't really covered it on the channel since the whole settlement with the DOJ happened between Binance, CZ, and the American government. But don't worry, this isn't going to be one of those boring crypto news videos. You all know what happened with Binance. I'm going to be talking about what I think that means for BSC, the Binance Smart Chain, BNB, the token, and all the other dApps that are built on BSC. And I'll be taking a look at a bunch of altcoins, just having a quick look, check in with them. Is it time to buy them, sell them, or hodl them? Buy, sell, or hodl, all that on today's edition of Cryptowise. But before I get into the meat of this episode, would you do me a favor? Do old Milty a favor. Would you please, pretty please, smash that like button? And if you are not already, subscribe to the channel. Why would you not want to be a Cryptowiser this year? With the Bitcoin having only 145 days away, the next year is going to be super exciting in crypto. So make sure you are subscribed to Cryptowise and turn that notification button on so you know anytime we drop a new video. And while you're at it, please go over to X/Twitter and make sure that you're following us there at Cryptowise Guys. That's at Cryptowise Guys. All right, guys, let's get into some crypto talk. Before I talk about BSC, let's get into some breaking crypto news. Okay, actually, this isn't crypto news, but this is pretty cool. The Cybertruck, the Tesla Cybertruck, it has started to ship today. And I just wanted to talk about this for a second because I think the crypto Lambo is a thing of the past, all right? That's 2017. That's 2021 even maybe. I think one of the things we got to think about this year, what are you going to do with your crypto profits? I don't know. I'm definitely thinking maybe a Cybertruck would be pretty cool. I mean, this thing is crazy. Look at this. Okay, this is a Tommy gun shooting directly at it. Wow, the Cybertruck, the Tesla Cybertruck. This is going to be on my wish list, on my 2025 crypto bull run wish list. I think you should make your own. What are you going to do with your crypto profit? Very important. Set some goals for yourself. Have some cool toys that you want to get to help motivate you through. Put the time and effort in over the next year to make that sweet, sweet, sweet crypto profit. Okay, last bit of news. Cristiano Ronaldo, he's being sued for $1 billion for promoting NFTs with who? Binance. That's right. I remember this going on. This was about a year ago. Binance had partnered with Ronaldo to do this NFT collection. Well, I guess anyone associated with Binance is now open to get sued, and he's the first one here. He's being sued for $1 billion. What I found most interesting about this article was not that he's being sued, but that most recently on X, Ronaldo reposted a Binance video and wrote that he was cooking something up with the crypto exchange. And that was just on Tuesday. So that leads me into my main topic I want to talk about today, and that is Binance. Clearly, Binance is not going away. They paid their $4 billion. CZ stepped down. Richard Tang is now in as CEO. He's come out and, reassured everyone. One, the thing I loved that he came out and said was they didn't even need to go dip into their crypto fund to pay the government their $4.3 billion. He didn't even have to sell any crypto for that. So that's paid off. That was nothing to them. And look, Binance is going legit. They have no more wiggle room here to be doing shady things. Basically, the U.S. government is watching them 24/7. They have access to everything now. So there's a couple of questions I want to talk about. One is, am I worried about Binance, the exchange, in terms of using it? No, I'm actually not. I don't think it's going anywhere. I think it's going to become more and more legit, probably partners with some more TradFi, maybe like a major bank, it eventually goes public the way that Coinbase did. So I'm not here to tell you that Binance is going down at all. But to be quite honest, I haven't used Binance in a long time. And after the FTX debacle, I'm certainly not going to be holding a lot of crypto on any centralized exchange. But I get that centralized exchanges can be useful as a gateway to get fiat into crypto. It's an easy way. Binance is a great way to kind of bridge, to use it as a bridge, because you can, within Binance, you can withdraw to a ton of different chains. So I get there's a use for it. So if you're still kind of using Binance, if you're using it for trading or whatever you're using it for, go for it. I think it's actually probably safer now to use than it ever was. We know that it's not going down. It's just going to be more and more legit. But just know that whatever you do on Binance is being watched like a hawk. So personally, I'm probably going to stay off it. I haven't been on it for a while, and I'm going to stay off it. But what's more interesting for me is what's going to happen with Binance Smart Chain and the ecosystem that has been built there. Well, one interesting tidbit that came out already is that the BUSD, which is the main stable coin of Binance and the main stable coin on the Binance Smart Chain, well, that's going away. So that was actually, a pretty big news, I think, as BUSD had been a very popular stable coin over the last few years. That's not going to be an option anymore. So if you do have BUSD, you're going to you should trade it for something else. I would trade it personally into USDC. That's still my stable coin of choice. I have USDC and I also have Tether. I have a little bit of DAI, but I really used USDC and USDT. But if you don't do anything with it, they're going to turn it into FDUSD, First Digital USD. I have no idea what that is even, so I've never used that one. I would rather have USDC or USDT. But in my opinion, I think this could be a first step towards Binance moving away from BSC even. I think if they're going full legit, I don't think they're going to have anything to do with BSC eventually. Now, yeah, in theory, it was always supposed to be separate from Binance, but who's kidding who? Really, the value was that Binance had this decentralized chain, decentralized in quotes, but it was a very fast and cheap chain. But really what gave it value was that it was attached to Binance, and Binance has been the biggest player in crypto. Now, before I get a lot of hate coming my way, just know that I was one of the first crypto YouTubers to talk about Binance Smart Chain. I did it all the way back here, January 2021, as Binance Chain was just launching and everything was just starting. I was doing videos on them from the beginning. And I think they had a really useful place back then in the last cycle. I honestly think that they played a huge part. If you weren't around back then, you got to know, one, Ethereum gas prices were through the roof. It was very expensive to use Ethereum, and it was really slow. And then Binance Smart Chain was the first fast and cheap chain, and a lot of people made a lot of money by going over there, investing in projects on there, but also saved a lot of money through gas and fees by using Binance Smart Chain as their kind of main chain of activity. So look, I have no ill will against it. I loved BSC when it came out. This was pre-Solana, pre-Avalanche. It was the only fast and cheap alternative to Ethereum. It worked great. Now, was it ever truly decentralized? I don't think so, but I didn't care. A lot of cool dApps went on there. Obviously, there were a few big DEXs that came out of it, most notably PancakeSwap. There was BakeSwap. There was AutoFarm. Beefy started there. So it did a lot of great things. And then obviously all the platforms or dApps from ETH moved over. So you could really save a lot of money by just doing a lot of your trading and stuff on BSC. So I'm very thankful that it was around. I think it was a huge, huge part of the last crypto bull run and should be seen as an important stepping stone in the history of crypto as a layer one that was fast and cheap and brought a lot of retail investors to crypto. Now, that said, I think it's dead. And I don't mean that literally. It's not dead, obviously. Let's look at DeFi Llama. I'm actually really surprised at how well BSC has held up. It's still the third biggest chain in terms of TVL. It has almost 1 million addresses. Almost $3 billion is still locked up on BSC. And actually over the last week and month, that has gone up. I would have expected that to have gone down. It's actually gone up. So it's really held a lot stronger than I thought it would. All the main dApps on there have really held up. PancakeSwap hasn't really taken a hit. Venus, over the last month since this news have come out, it's a lot more green than red in terms of TVL going up for BSC. So if you're someone who still uses BSC, I don't think it's actually going to die. Like, I don't think it's just going to disappear, but I do think over the course of the next year, it's going to die kind of a slow death. And this is my theory on it. Just personally, it's kind of anecdotal, is that I have no use for it anymore. And I want you to tell me in the comments, drop me a comment. Are you still using BSC? And if so, why? What does BSC afford you that you cannot find elsewhere now? Because for me, the reasons I used it in 2021 and loved it, I don't need it for that anymore. I got Solana. I got Polygon. I got Avalanche. And then in this bull run, I think DOT is going to be way more user-friendly. There's the other layer 2s. There's Optimism. There's Arbitrum. And that's just the beginning. I mean, there's so many more layer 1s that I would use over BSC now. Chronos I don't use. Actually, tell me, those of you out there, if do any of you use the Chronos chain, the crypto.com chain? I'd be curious about that. I think Near Protocol will have a big ecosystem to be able to use this time around. Immutable X, obviously, for gaming. I still love Multiverse X. Who knows about Algorand? Who knows if Phantom comes back? And of course, there's Aptos now that's going to be out there, and Sui. And that's just the beginning. So to me, I don't see a place for BSC this time around. I'm going to have lots of choice for fast, cheap chains. To me, Solana has completely destroyed any reason that I needed for BSC, and now there's going to be way more options. So why would I use BSC when it's attached to a centralized exchange that I know is being watched like a hawk? I just don't see an argument for it. So please, if you are still a BSC fan, tell me why. Are you going to keep using it? Tell me why. I want to know why, because I can't think of a reason why I would ever use BSC again. That doesn't mean that I hate the projects on there, but there's no dApp on BSC that couldn't move, that isn't already on other chains or couldn't move to another chain. There's no games that couldn't move to other chains. Most of what I was doing on BSC was just buying kind of the BSC version of coins I wanted on Ether anyway, and it was just cheaper for me to buy them on BSC. So that's what I was doing. But with all the layer 2s now and the other options, I just don't need it anymore. So for me, BSC is dead. I'm not even thinking about it. To me, it's not even really part of my crypto worldview anymore. Anyway, that's my 2 cents on BNB and BSC. I'm not going to be investing in BNB, obviously, because of that, even though, again, it's held up great. You know, really it took one big dip after the news, went from 260, it's now at 230, and it's been holding strong around 230. It's held up really strong in this crypto winter. It's only down just 66% from its all-time high when most other tokens are down 90, 99%. But it's not going to be in my portfolio. I'm not going to be investing in it. And I won't be investing in probably any project that is just BSC. And I'll let you guys know if that changes. If something comes out that is just so incredible and it's only on Binance Smart Chain, I'll let you know. But I don't foresee that happening. So that's my 2 cents about BNB, BSC. It's dead to me. Let me know in the comments, what do you think? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Okay, shall we talk some altcoins? Now, before I do have a look at some of my fave altcoins right now, I think I should talk a little about this. As things are starting to heat up in crypto again, we're getting a lot more views on the old videos the last week or so, and I want to make sure everyone understands my philosophy here, because I'm going to be talking a lot about a lot of altcoins on this channel. That's what we do. We're talking degen crypto plays. These are high risk investments. All of crypto is high risk, okay? Even Bitcoin has a non-zero chance of going to zero. So I cannot state this enough. Only invest, especially in the small cap coins, what you are willing to lose. I'm going to probably talk about a few hundred, if not thousands of altcoins over the next year on this channel. Out of those, I'll probably own myself I don't know, 40, 50 maybe at most. But this is the key. What is the percentage of your portfolio that are going to these altcoins, these kind of small cap gems? This is my kind of rule of thumb, and this will kind of change a little bit, and I'll talk through it here with you. But I like to have 50% of my portfolio Bitcoin. Right now, I only have about 5% Ethereum. That used to be a lot more. I've cut that down, and I've put about 30% into what I consider big cap plays. For me, this is mostly DOT and Solana, but that will also change this year. Then I've got another 5% in other medium cap plays. Then this is my 10% degen plays. Okay, so I've only got 10% allocated to all my kind of small cap degen plays. So if I'm wrong about a few of these, which I will be over the course of this next year. Now look, in the bull run, everything tends to do well. But at a certain point, when the musical chairs stop and some projects go to zero, you want them in that basket of 10%. You don't want to be risking 100% of your portfolio on things that have a high likelihood of failure. So I'm just putting this out there. I'm going to remind you of this in many videos. When I'm talking about any small cap coin, it is a small percentage of my overall crypto portfolio, which is also not all of my investments. Now, I tend to put a large majority of my investments in crypto, more than most people would, but I still have other things. So if 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 of these coins go to zero, it will suck, but it's not going to change my life. Also, the whole thing about degen plays is you're trying to do a bunch of them so that if one goes 100x, you really don't care if a few of them go to zero. All right, I just want to make that clear, especially if you are new to crypto. This is super important. Don't get carried away. If you don't own any Bitcoin yet, any Ethereum, or any of the other big cap plays, you should be thinking long and hard before you go into any of these small cap plays. Now, if you're super young and you're not actually going to invest that much in crypto and it's just kind of like a lottery ticket, you're going to throw $100 at something, whatever. But if you're a serious investor, do not risk too much of your overall portfolio in any of these degen plays. Okay, I've said it. I hope you hear it. I will remind you of it because it is very, very important. Okay, first coin I want to talk about is TEER, Integrity. This is a Polkadot project. If you've been watching the channels from the beginning, you would know that I have talked a lot about Integrity. This is one that I have been holding all through crypto winter, and I want to touch upon it today. And now just know that today's video is just going to be looking at today's prices, kind of where the token's at. I'm not going to go into the project, what it does and all that stuff. There'll be future videos for that or past videos or both, really. But Integrity is an interesting one. I want to put it on your radar if it's not already. It's at $1.52 right now, but it has had a really interesting week. It's gone kind of crazy this week. So it's up from 50 cents this week to $1.50. So it's tripled in price. But if we go even further back, the 30-day, it was under 25 cents just 30 days ago, or not even, like about November 13th or so, it was at around 25 cents. So it's starting to move for the first time in a really long time. If we look at the max chart here, this was one of those DOT projects that came out later in the bull run, so it was really a casualty of timing. It came out when the token launched. It was just before January 2022, and it went to $8, but then it quickly came down. $2, it bounced back up, and then from there, that was basically the end of the bull run, and it's kind of just had it was bleeding, kind of just down. I think it hit a low of 13 cents. Very interesting to see this movement in the last week or so here. I'm really loving this. You can see that the volume has gone up. The volume is still very low. The one thing about Integrity and TEER I want to stress about is their tokenomics. This is a tiny cap, okay? The market cap right now is under $2 million. These are the kind of gems that we like to look at with high upside, very low market caps. So full transparency, I got in on the private sale of Integrity. This was during a time where I was essentially just going in on any of the Polkadot private sales, but Integrity, I really made an effort to get into. I really loved this project, and it really didn't have time to take off in the last bull run. So it's nice to see that there is something simmering here. Now, the private price back then, this was at the height of the bull run, so projects could charge more, but it was, I believe, about an average of $4 to $5 per tier for the private sale. So we're still more than half off of what the private sale people paid for this token. So I know that the price right now is a decent price. Be careful though with the volume. Even though the volume is way up, it's still only just over $350,000 daily. So this is not a token that you can easily get in and out of without price movement. But it is available on Gate.io and Kraken, two bigger centralized exchanges. And I love the tokenomics of this one. Total max supply ever. There will only ever be 10 million tokens. The circulating supply right now is only 1.3 million, but at a $2 million market cap, this one is an interesting one to watch out for. Now, because the price has spiked so fast in the last few days, I'm not saying that you should go rush out and get this one at all, but good to have on your radar. Watch it. I'm going to be watching. Hopefully it finds some stability here at about 150. If it goes down, finds at least a higher high. And from there, we shall see. I mean, this really is going to be dependent a little bit on the DOT narrative, what happens with DOT, but also just in itself. One of the things I loved about this project was I thought that there was a lot of revenue generating cases for it. It's a data privacy play, and I thought there are a lot of ways for this to actually generate real revenue. I love that kind of project. So anyway, that's the first one I wanted to talk about. Very interesting and exciting to see the TEER Token move after a very long time of it doing absolutely nothing. Second token, if you've been watching this channel even recently, you know that this is one of my faves. Crown by Third Time Games. This is the Crown token for the Photo Finish live game. It's up to 62 cents. It's fallen down a little bit in the last couple of days. It did hit over 75 cents a couple of days ago, reached 77 cents. This token started at 5 cents when it launched not over a year ago. I think it's just starting to go too. Volume here is about 730,000 daily, which is pretty great for a small token like this. This one to me is just beginning. It's got a market cap right now of about 50 million. Its total max supply is 250 million, and 78 million of that is already out there. But this is the ownership token of Photo Finish, which is a game that has just done so well and is just continues to grow day after day after day. Now with the Crown token, you can just go and trade it. You know, you can just buy it as like any other altcoin if you want. Most people are buying it on Orca. You can also get it through Jupiter. Really what's special about this token is the in-game utility of it. A unique way that you can get this game is actually through buying one of the Photo Finish NFTs. So this is Magic Eden here. This is the collection here. And if you, so this little button right here, or this little 2084 on this NFT at least, that's how much Crown is left. So what happens is if you buy one of these NFTs, you can stake it in Photo Finish, and then you get a little bit of Crown every day from it. So until sometime, I think it's around March 2025. I don't know the exact date. It's in 2025. You would get a little bit of Crown every day until 2025. And so for this NFT, for example, there's 2,080 Crown left in that NFT that would be dripped to you over the course of the next year or so. And as you can see, out of 15,000 of these NFTs, there are only 122 listed. That's how valuable these are and how many people are holding on to them, staking them in Photo Finish Live, and earning their Crown. Now there's a great tool on the game here too. So you don't have to go to Magic Eden. You can just go to the game photofinish.live, and they've listed all the ones that are listed here, but they've broken it down even further for you. You can see what kind of value you're getting. So instead of the listing them. Like this one is listed by floor price, so the cheaper the NFT here. But I like what Photo Finish does here. They list it actually by the best value for the NFT. So this Marvelous Mare 2490, it originally had 13,000 something crown. So each NFT was, depending on rarity and stuff, was given a certain allocation of crown that it would be worth. It has remaining now 8,500 crown. So if you get this one, you'd get 8,500 crown over the next year. So that means based on the price it's on now, it's at 56 SOL right now on Magic Eden. Based on that price, you're basically paying per crown less than 40 cents per crown. Right now, crown is worth 62 cents, almost 63. You're getting it at a discount of today's price. Now, of course, the price of crown could go down if the game starts not doing well or whatnot. It's still a risk, and over the next year, maybe crown ends up going below the 40 cents that you end up paying for it. My bet, I'm betting big on this game. I think it's just getting started. So that's a pretty decent deal there. Instead of going out on the market and buying 63 cent crown, you could buy one of these NFTs and get crown cheaper, but it's a longer term investment because you don't get all that crown right away. You have to stake it, and then it drips to you over the course of a year. That's why you're kind of getting a discount on that crown. But it's an interesting way to get an altcoin, very different there. And crown is also just one of the ways that you can participate in Photo Finish or make money from Photo Finish Live. Yeah, our friend here, Silo Snippin, on Twitter, he posted this great chart just recently here about the average horse sale prices have been going crazy. Also, so people are paying huge amounts for the horses. That's also another way. But just seeing this chart makes me so excited about the future of the game and how healthy the game is right now, which just makes that crown utility token so much more valuable. And in the game, so what happens here, just to show you, is this is the staking here. So if you had an NFT, you'd stake it here, you would get your crown. But then what you can do with the crown token, why it's so valuable, is by staking your crown, you get part ownership of the race tracks. And the race tracks, obviously people pay for their horses to race, and a portion of that goes to the racetrack owners. And if you are staking your crown, you are one of those owners. And so you earn Derby, which is essentially a stable coin. It's like the stable coin of the game, and you can cash that Derby out for USDC very easily and basically have a passive income that way through the crown token, which is why it's so valuable. And you can see right now there are 5 racetracks. Each of them have over 9 million crowns staked. So that's over 45 million, 46 million crowns staked in the game right now. And as I said, the circulating supply right now is 78. So you have over half the circulating supply right now being staked in the game. So crown token, love this one, doing really well. It's just making higher highs. If you go to the overall chart of it, it's just continues to make higher highs and higher lows. And I think this one has a very bright future. Another DOT project I want to talk about, KILT Protocol. There was a really interesting interview recently with Ingo, the founder of Bot Labs, which created KILT, on the Kusumarian channel the other day. Very interesting interview, and we're hoping to have Ingo on the channel in the near future too, to chat with him. And I mostly want to chat with him about revenue for KILT, because you might have heard KILT did a huge partnership with Deloitte. Deloitte is using KILT to basically sell digital credentials to people. So through Deloitte, you can get these digital credentials where you can prove your credentials online and only share your credentials with who you want to share them with. You get to keep your own data. And Deloitte is actually the one. So instead of KILT being out there and having to sell this to people, Deloitte is selling it, but they're using the KILT protocol underneath the hood of it all, which should impact KILT, the price of KILT eventually. What I want to ask Ingo is directly is how much revenue does KILT get from that? I want to know more of the the numbers of that, and I haven't heard him talk about that. But right now, KILT sits at 37 cents, just under 38. And also, full disclosure, this was also another DOT project that I was lucky enough to buy in the private sale. But I also bought more after that. That's how much I'm into this project, because the private sale cost was 40 euro, so higher than the price right now. But as you can see, it's kind of the exact same chart as Integrity. This was kind of the time a lot of these DOT projects were coming out when the market started crashing. So these projects they haven't really had a cycle, even though they're an older token. We haven't seen them live through an actual bull cycle like some of the other ones. So these are the kind of tokens that I have a belief in for this bull run, more so than some that I think had their chance. It now has gone to zero. For something like KILT, I think it's really, to me, this is just the beginning for it. It's got a market cap of about 50 million, just over 49 million, max supply of 290,560,000, and the circulating supply right now of 130 million. A lot of the supply is out there because the max supply is actually different than the total supply. So that max supply will take years and years and years for that to actually get to that number. So I think in this next bull run, we're looking more at the total supply number being important at 160, which means that most of the tokens for KILT are already out there. I think a lot of the selling pressure here, a lot of people had to get out already. So I think we're in, KILT's in a great position right now for this bull run. It's also on Kraken and Gate.io. It's also on MEX. So KILT, that's one to have on your radar. Again, I'm not saying that you should rush out or buy any of these, but I want them on your radar. Start doing your research. We're going to be talking a lot about them on the channel. Multiverse X is a layer 1 project that I really like. I got into this one very early. It used to be Elrond, so it's at $44 right now. Looking at the max chart, it's obviously its all-time high was $545, so it's at still about 92% off its all-time high. That to me means that it hasn't quite had its run yet in this early stage of the bull run like some other tokens have. This one is available on Binance, but I've held on to this one all through crypto winter. It's one I still really like. Now, for example, I'm looking more at the Multiverse X's of the world and the, say, Filecoin. This is one I don't own, but I really want to add it to my portfolio. This one is still over 98% down from its all-time high, and that's kind of what I'm looking at. Whereas, like in contrast, say TEER Chain, which is another project I really like, is at $6.48, which is just under 70% of its all-time high. So from the chart, you can see it's already had a pretty good run up here. I would imagine that it will have a bit of a pullback, and some of these other coins like Multiverse X or Filecoin might be able to catch up before this one goes any further. So I'd rather see like 98% from the all-time high if it's a project I believe in. Now, it could just be a dead project, so it's not like you can just only look at that number. But if it's a project I still love and it hasn't had that pump yet, then I think it's a decent time to still buy or DCA into. Whereas something like TEER Chain, I would hold off on at the moment. All right, guys, those are just some altcoins I wanted to have a quick look at on today's episode. As always, I hope you enjoyed the episode. If you did, please smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Make sure your notifications are on, because you know that you never know when a Cryptowise video is going to drop. And of course, come over to X/Twitter, say hi, let me know what you are buying, what altcoins are you watching, what's your portfolio percentages, how much Bitcoin do you like to have percentage-wise, how much degen percentage do you give yourself. Let's have some crypto conversations over on X. But guys, as always, I just really appreciate the community. I love the feedback that you give us, any suggestions that you send our way for our videos. It's just great to have a community to talk crypto with. So thank you so much for watching today's video. As always, I'm Milton. Until next time, saying over and out.